Hey everyone, welcome back to Warren's Everyday English. So in this episode, Greg will be embarking on a 6-week wrestling journey. Join us as we discover what lies ahead for Greg and his fellow classmates. In third period, Mr. Underwood, our phys ed teacher, announced that the boys will be doing a wrestling unit for the next 6 weeks. If there's one thing most boys in my school are into, it's professional wrestling. So Mr. Underwood might as well have set off a bomb. Lunch comes right after phys ed, and the cafeteria was a complete madhouse. I don't know what the school is thinking having a wrestling unit, but I decided if I don't want to get twisted into a pretzel for the next month and a half, I better do my homework on this wrestling business. So I rented a couple of video games to learn some moves, and you know what? After a while, I was really starting to get the hang of it. In fact, the other kids in my class had better look out, because if I keep this up, I could be a real threat. Then again, I better make sure I don't do too good. This kid named Preston Mudd got named Athlete of the Month for being the best player in the basketball unit, so they put his picture up in the hallway. It took people about 5 seconds to realize how P. Mudd sounded when you say it out loud, and after that, it was all over for Preston. So let's look at the key expressions. Be into. So this expression means to be interested in or enthusiastic about something. In the context of the story, it's used to convey that most boys in the school are enthusiastic about professional wrestling. Here are some examples of the expression be into used in sentences. My older brother is really into cars. He knows all the different makes and models and the performance of the cars. I used to be into photography, but I haven't had much time for it lately. These examples show how be into is used to describe someone's interests and hobbies. Might as well. This phrase is typically used when suggesting that something is worth doing or that there's no better option. So let's take a look at some examples to see how might as well is used. Since the weather is terrible, we might as well stay indoors and watch a movie. We have some extra ingredients left over, so we might as well make another batch of cookies. And remember, after might as well, a base form of the verb is typically used. Set off a bomb. This is an idiom that is used figuratively to describe an event or action that causes a sudden and significant impact, commotion, or disruption, similar to the way an actual explosion from a bomb would. It implies that something had a powerful and often unexpected effect, leading to a dramatic or chaotic situation. So for example, the unexpected announcement set off a bomb of excitement in the crowd. His resignation set off a bomb of speculation and rumors in the office. The controversial decision by the government set off a political bomb, causing protests and debates. In these examples, set off a bomb is used to convey the idea that an event or action had a strong and immediate impact, much like the explosive force of a bomb. So in the story, it's used to describe the chaotic reaction of the boys in the classroom after the wrestling unit announcement. Madhouse. So this word is used to describe a place or situation that is chaotic, disorderly, and noisy. In the story, it's used to describe the atmosphere in the cafeteria. Get twisted into a pretzel. The expression get twisted into a pretzel is a figurative way of saying that someone might become physically tangled up in a difficult or uncomfortable position. It's used to emphasize the idea of being put into a physically challenging or awkward situation. This phrase is not used as frequently as some other idiomatic expressions, but it is used when someone wants to vividly describe a situation where somebody's body or position becomes extremely contorted or tangled. So for instance, during yoga class, I tried to do a difficult pose and I felt like I was getting twisted into a pretzel. I had to navigate through a tight space to retrieve my keys. I felt like I was getting twisted into a pretzel to reach them. Had better. So when you say I'd better, it's like saying it's a good idea or I should. It means you're thinking that doing something is the right or smart thing to do. So Greg is saying that doing homework about wrestling is a smart thing to do because it will help him be better at wrestling. After a while. This phrase is used to indicate that something will happen or that there will be a time gap, but it doesn't specify exactly how long that time gap will be. So for example, I'll call you back after a while means that the person will call back after some time has passed, but it could be a few minutes or a few hours. So in the story, Greg started to become skilled at wrestling after spending some time practicing and learning. Get the hang of it. So imagine you learn to ride a bike or play a musical instrument. When you're learning something new, especially something that requires skill or practice, it can feel tricky at first. But as you keep trying and practicing, you start to understand how it works and it becomes easier for you. So when we say get the hang of it, it means that you're getting better at something the more you practice or learn. So in the book, Greg is getting better at wrestling moves with practice, and he's starting to understand how to do them correctly. Look out. So in this context, look out means to be cautious or be prepared for something. In the book, it's used to suggest that others should be cautious because Greg is getting better at wrestling. Keep this up. This means to continue doing something, often because it is yielding positive results. In the story, it suggests that if Greg continues to practice and excel as he has been doing, he could become a significant competitor or challenge for the other kids in the class. Make sure. So make sure is like a friendly reminder to double check and be certain that something is done correctly or that you have what you need. It's a way to be careful and avoid mistakes or problems. It's a bit like saying, don't forget to be absolutely certain about this. Here are some examples. Make sure to lock the door before leaving the house, emphasizing the importance of ensuring the door is locked. We need to make sure the project is completed on time, emphasizing the importance of meeting a deadline. It's all over for someone. So this expression means that someone's reputation or situation was negatively affected or ruined. In the story, it's used to describe how Preston Mudd's name led to teasing and jokes once people realized its humorous sound. These key expressions add flavor to the narrative and help convey the character's emotions and thoughts. So make sure that you study these key expressions with me. They'll not only enhance your understanding of the story, but also boost your English language skills. Because as mentioned previously, these are common expressions used in everyday English. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.